Have you ever found yourself thinking about something so much that you start to feel like a hamster on a wheel? Just running in circles with no progress? Yeah, that's the mind trap I'm talking about. Overthinking. If you're tired of chasing your own tail and want to actually get somewhere in your thoughts, keep watching. You're not alone. Most of us have been there, stuck in a mental loop, replaying the same thoughts over and over again. But the good news is, there is a way out. Let's break free from this cycle, step by step. So, what exactly is thinking in circles? Well, it's that feeling when your mind just won't stop spinning. You analyze one situation from every angle, question every decision you've ever made, and end up more confused than when you started. Sound familiar? We all do it. Maybe you've had a conversation where you said the wrong thing, and now for hours you're replaying every word, imagining a dozen different ways the conversation could have gone. Or maybe you're deciding whether to send a text and you rewrite it 20 times, but still you're unsure. It's exhausting, isn't it? Today, we're going to put an end to that. By the end of this video, you'll have simple, effective strategies to stop thinking in circles, clear the mental clutter, and make decisions without losing your mind in the process. The science behind overthinking. All right, before we dive into solutions, let's quickly talk about why our brains love to think in circles. Our brains are like that one friend who insists on explaining things even when you're already nodding like, yeah, I got it, no need for the third re-explanation. The brain is wired to protect us from danger, so it likes to replay past experiences to avoid mistakes in the future. But here's the catch. When it overdoes it, it ends up causing more harm than good. Overthinking happens when the brain becomes too focused on a situation that it doesn't know how to solve, which leads to mental exhaustion. It's kind of like that one song that gets stuck in your head and just loops endlessly, but without the catchy tune. So how do we stop this mind-spinning madness? The first step is interrupting the cycle. Think of your brain as a washing machine that's stuck in the rinse cycle. You need to hit the pause button before it starts flooding your mind. Here's an easy trick. When you catch yourself overthinking, ask yourself this simple question. Is this thought helping me in any way? If the answer is no, and I promise most of the time it's no, then stop right there. It's like when you're scrolling through your phone and realize you've been looking at the same meme for 15 minutes. Just stop, close the app, and do something else. For example, if you're worrying about whether or not you said the wrong thing in a meeting, simply ask, is thinking about this over and over going to change what happened? Spoiler alert, it won't. So take a deep breath and let it go. Now that you've paused the mental spiral, let's move on to the next step, grounding yourself in the present moment. Stop time traveling in your mind to the past or future and focus on what's actually happening right now. I know, easier said than done, right? But here's a trick. Engage your senses. When you're caught up in those endless thoughts, stop and pay attention to what you can see, hear, feel, smell, or taste in the present moment. Let's say you're in the middle of an overthink storm about a job interview. Stop and look around. What's in your room? Is your cat giving you side-eye again? Are you hearing birds outside the window? Just focus on what's real, and soon enough, you'll notice that your mind has slowed down a bit. Or you can try the classic grounding technique, where you name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. It sounds a bit weird, but trust me, it works like a charm. Here's another hack that can help break the mental loop. Set a time limit for your worries. It's like saying, all right, brain, you have 5 minutes to freak out. That's it. Let's say you're worried about a presentation at work. Instead of letting that worry linger for days, give yourself 10 minutes to think about all the possible outcomes. Write down every scenario in your head, the good, the bad, and the ugly. After that, you tell your brain, okay, we're done. Now on to the next thing. It's like when you're cleaning the house. You set a timer for 20 minutes, work like crazy, and then you get to relax. You're tricking your brain into being more productive by giving it a limited time to spin its wheels. Now here's where the magic happens. Action. Overthinking often happens because we feel stuck or uncertain. We're paralyzed by fear or we just can't make up our minds. But here's the thing. You don't have to make the perfect decision every time. Start by taking small, manageable steps. If you're unsure about whether to send that email, start by writing a draft. It's progress, and it moves you forward. If you're obsessing over whether to take a new job offer, just make a list of pros and cons. Simple, tiny actions like this can stop the cycle of overthinking and give you momentum. It's like trying to assemble IKEA furniture. You're not going to put it together in one go, but step by step, you'll eventually have a fully built bookshelf, and probably some leftover screws too. But a major cause of overthinking is the fear of losing control. We want to control every outcome and make sure everything is perfect. But here's a little secret. You can't control everything, and that's totally okay. So focus on what you can control. For example, if you're stressing over a social event, you can't control how everyone will behave, but you can control how you show up. You can choose to dress comfortably, bring a positive attitude, and decide to enjoy the moment. The rest? Let it go. It's out of your hands. Finally, let's talk about being kind to yourself. It's easy to fall into a pattern of harsh self-judgment when you can't stop overthinking. You might think, why am I like this? Why can't I just move on already? But overthinking isn't a flaw. It's just a habit, and habits can be changed. So instead of beating yourself up, show yourself some compassion. If you catch yourself in a loop, gently remind yourself, it's okay to be human. Everyone overthinks. The goal is to break the cycle, not to punish yourself for being caught in it. All right, let's quickly recap. To stop thinking in circles, you need to interrupt the cycle by asking if the thought is helping, ground yourself in the present moment with your senses, set a time limit for your worries, take small actions to gain momentum, focus on what you can control, and practice self-compassion instead of judgment. And hey, don't expect this to be a quick fix. Like breaking any habit, it takes practice. But remember, every time you stop yourself from spiraling, you're one step closer to freeing your mind. So let's get out of those mental loops and start living in the moment. After all, life's too short to spend it overthinking. Unless you're thinking about pizza. In that case, overthink away. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a little mental freedom. Catch you next time.